Whenever I talk about patriarchy or anything related to feminism, people are in my comments being like, yeah, but the good man, and women being like, I found a good man. So I have developed a test to tell you whether or not you have indeed a good man or a bad man. Let's use this handy little chart. So most men come into this world and society really tries to sell them on this, that women are less human than men. We're not as capable, we're biologically pre-programmed for different tasks than they are, we're less smart than them, we should have less rights than them. These are the men fighting for the status quo, or even more so, they're likely to be the men fighting for a return to times when women had less rights. Okay, and just to the right of that right here, we have, okay, maybe women get treated unfairly, but it's their fault. Here are all the reasons that women bring this upon themselves. These are the men that will, blame the bad actions of boys and men on their mothers. Like everything somehow gets circulated back to being women's fault. Then this next little group here, you've got women get treated badly. Here's what they should do to change it. It's the women should be mindful of the clothes that they wear. Women should drink less when they're around men. Women should just lean in at work and the men will, they'll start promoting them. Then our next group is right here. The men who believe, okay, patriarchy is everywhere and men are the ones that bear the responsibility to change it. This is normally where we start saying, he's a good man. The next group over are here. Men willing to actually challenge other men, to risk their social capital, to communicate to other men that patriarchy is everywhere, and then men bear responsibility to change it. We almost certainly put these men in the good men category. And to the right of those, you have men willing to do the inner work of developing emotional intelligence and relational skills. They understand that it's not just enough to acknowledge the problem, to face the problem, but they acknowledge the problem still lives in them. This step takes a lot of bravery, probably a lot of time, likely the help of a good therapist, or at least several very good books. I recommend Bell Hooks, The Will to Change especially, but all of her works. Okay, so where would I draw the line of good men versus bad men? Where does that go? It goes nowhere. It's a trick question. There's no such thing as a binary of good and bad men. The moment we label men good, they cease to believe that they still have work to do. And probably the work of unpacking patriarchy is going to be a lifetime journey for them. It took a lifetime to put it there, it's going to take a lifetime to take it back out. Also, labeling men bad can suggest that they're not redeemable. And I believe that the vast majority of people are redeemable. That being said, it is very true that on this spectrum, the further and further right you get, the more and more safe you get for women. The only men I would ever consider safe are men that are right of this, that are going in this direction. And the only men I would ever date are men that are right of this, because any relationship with somebody who hasn't done this is going to be miserable, unfulfilling, and it will end. And by the way, I could make an almost identical chart for deconstructing white supremacy culture. For the most part, just replacing men with white people and replacing women with Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. The difference might be in this area, instead of developing emotional intelligence and relational skills, it's going to be deconstructing from the elements of white supremacy culture, which include things like perfectionism and one right way and either or thinking and right to comfort, power hoarding, etc. But as a white person, I'm not going to tell you where safety begins for them, because that is not my place. Oh, I took the whole line with it.